Celebrating our gifted children, my aunt bragged from the beach resort. No place for special needs kids, they all agreed, posing poolside. I liked their post. Then I called the resort manager, who works for me. Now their perfect vacation needs my approval. The notification popped up on my phone while I sat in the hospital cafeteria, stirring cold coffee I had no intention of drinking. My daughter Emma had just received her Speech Therapy Achievement Award upstairs, a small ceremony in the pediatric wing celebrating 6 months of progress. She'd managed to say 3 full sentences without stuttering, and the pride in her eyes had made every sleepless night worthwhile. I shouldn't have opened Instagram, but muscle memory took over, and there it was. A carousel of photos from my sister-in-law Jennifer's family beach trip to the Azure Coast Resort. 12 adults, 15 children, all smiling under palm trees and posing by an infinity pool that seemed to spill into the ocean. Every single member of my extended family was there. Except us. The first photo showed Jennifer raising a champagne glass, surrounded by my husband's brothers and their wives. The caption read, "Annual family getaway with our exceptional children. So blessed to celebrate their achievements together." I scrolled through the images. My nephew holding a soccer trophy. My niece displaying a perfect report card. Another cousin's son with a science fair medal. The comments section overflowed with congratulations and heart emojis. Then I reached the group photo. Everyone arranged on the beach at sunset. Children in matching white outfits. Adults in coordinated pastels. At the bottom Jennifer had written, "Our tradition continues. A week celebrating excellence with the kids who make us proud. No distractions, no drama, just pure family joy." My hands trembled slightly. Emma and I weren't just excluded. We were erased. I clicked on my mother-in-law's comment. This is what family should be. Quality time with quality people. Some gatherings are meant for those who can truly appreciate them. My sister-in-law Amanda had added, "Agreed. It's important to create environments where everyone can shine. Can't have that energy brought down, you know?" The coffee tasted like ash. I set down my phone and looked out the window at the parking lot, trying to steady my breathing. Emma was upstairs with her speech therapist, probably showing off her award to anyone who would listen. She'd worked so hard, practiced every single day, cried through the frustrations and celebrated the tiniest victories. And her own family couldn't be bothered to acknowledge it. My phone buzzed with a text from Jennifer. "Hope you're not upset about the trip. We kept it small this year. Plus, you know how chaotic these things get. Didn't think Emma would enjoy all the noise and activities. We were really doing you a favor." I read it 3 times. Each word carefully chosen to sound considerate while delivering a blade between the ribs. Another text followed. "The resort is amazing though. Probably too sophisticated for kids who need special attention. Everything here is very fast-paced and stimulating. You understand." I understood perfectly. I opened my photos and found a picture from that morning. Emma in her dress, holding her certificate, beaming at the camera. Her speech therapist had called her our star student. The hospital staff had given her a standing ovation. I posted it to my Instagram with a simple caption. "So proud of this warrior. 6 months of speech therapy, and today she gave a speech that brought everyone to tears. True excellence comes in many forms." Within minutes, likes started appearing. Friends, colleagues, people who actually knew my daughter. Then I saw it. Jennifer had liked the post. The audacity made me laugh. A sharp sound that startled the elderly man at the next table. I pulled up my contacts and scrolled to a name I rarely called. Marcus Chen, general manager of Azure Coast Resort. We'd gone to business school together, back before I'd built my investment portfolio, before I'd quietly acquired controlling interest in 3 luxury properties along the coast, including Azure Coast. Most people didn't know about my investments. I'd kept them separate from family discussions, using my maiden name for business. My husband knew, but he traveled constantly for work and rarely engaged with his family's gossip. After his mother had made one too many comments about me being just a stay-at-home mom, I'd stopped sharing my professional life entirely. Let them think what they wanted. I had nothing to prove. He'll know. "Marcus, it's Diana," I said when he picked up. "I need you to pull up a reservation for me. Last name Thompson, checked in yesterday." I heard typing on the other end. "Got it. Jennifer Thompson, party of 27. Presidential suite and 4 adjoining ocean view rooms. They've booked the private beach pavilion for the week and made dinner reservations at our signature restaurant every night. What's the total cost looking like? Currently at $48,000 for the week. They've added spa packages and water sports activities. Could easily hit 60 by checkout. I did the mental math. Jennifer's husband was a dentist. Comfortable but not wealthy. My brother-in-law worked in sales. They'd probably pooled resources for this trip. Maybe even asked the family to contribute. All that money to celebrate excluding my daughter. I want you to upgrade them, I said. Marcus paused. Upgrade. To the royal villa. The one with the private pool and personal chef. Complimentary. On the house. Diana, that's a $15,000 per night accommodation. I'm aware. I want them to have the absolute best experience for the next 3 days. Premium everything. Make them feel like royalty. Another pause. Marcus had worked with me long enough to know I didn't make random decisions. And after 3 days? I'll be there. We'll discuss it then. I hung up and looked at Jennifer's Instagram again. New photos had appeared. The kids eating gelato, the adults toasting at dinner. Everyone laughing, carefree, celebrating their exceptional children. I screenshotted every post. The next morning, Jennifer's stories showed their upgrade. The massive villa, the private pool, champagne and strawberries waiting in their rooms. The resort manager said we were such valued guests that they wanted to give us the VIP treatment. She'd written. Feeling so blessed. My mother-in-law had posted a video tour of the villa, ending with, "This is what happens when you're classy people. They recognize quality." I spent the next 2 days preparing. I worked with my lawyer to draft specific documents. I contacted the family advocacy group I'd been funding anonymously for the past 3 years. I made phone calls and confirmed arrangements. On the 3rd day, I packed Emma's favorite swimsuit, her new award tucked safely in my carry-on, and drove us to the airport. "Where are we going, Mama?" Emma asked, her speech still careful but clear. "To the beach, sweetheart. To show some people what real excellence looks like." The Azure Coast Resort sprawled across 12 acres of pristine coastline. I'd first invested in it 5 years ago when the original owners faced bankruptcy. My business partners and I had turned it into one of the region's most exclusive destinations. I'd visited twice before. Always quietly, always avoiding attention. Today was different. Marcus met us at the private entrance, away from the main lobby. "Everything's arranged. They're all at the beach pavilion right now. Some kind of family photo session." Perfect timing. I smoothed Emma's dress and took her hand. "Ready for an adventure?" We walked through the resort grounds, past manicured gardens and cascading fountains. Emma gasped at the tropical flowers, stopping to examine each one. No rushing. No pressure. We took our time. The beach pavilion sat on a private stretch of sand, white curtains billowing in the ocean breeze. Through the sheer fabric, I could see my entire extended family arranged for photos. A professional photographer directed them, capturing what I was sure they believed was a perfect family portrait. Without us. I waited until the photographer called for a break. Then Emma and I walked onto the beach. Jennifer saw us first. Her smile froze, cocktail halfway to her lips. Then my mother-in-law, her expression shifting from confusion to something like annoyance. The others noticed the stares and turned. "Diana." Jennifer's voice pitched higher than normal. "What are you doing here?" "Visiting my property," I said calmly. Emma pressed closer to my side and I gave her hand a reassuring squeeze. "Thought I'd check on our guests." "Your property?" My brother-in-law laughed. "Come on. This place costs a fortune. You can't just walk in here." Marcus appeared beside me, tablet in hand. "Mrs. Matthews owns a controlling interest in Azure Coast Resort, sir. She's welcome anywhere on the property." The silence was profound. Even the ocean seemed to quiet. My mother-in-law recovered first. "This is ridiculous. Diana doesn't own anything. She's a homemaker." "I'm a private investor," I corrected. "I've maintained a low profile for personal reasons. But I think it's time we clarified a few things." I pulled out my phone and opened the screenshots of their Instagram post. "Jennifer, you wrote that this gathering was for quality people and exceptional children. Amanda, you mentioned not wanting energy brought down. Mother Patricia, you specifically stated this trip was for those who could truly appreciate it. I looked at each of them. You deliberately excluded my daughter from a family event because she has a speech delay. You celebrated your children's achievements while ignoring hers. You came to my resort, spent thousands of dollars and bragged online about excluding a 6-year-old child with special needs. Jennifer's face flushed red. It wasn't like that. We just thought. You thought my daughter wasn't good enough for your perfect family photos. I held up Emma's award certificate. This week, while you were here celebrating report cards and soccer trophies, Emma received recognition for 6 months of intensive speech therapy. She gave a speech in front of doctors and therapists. She's worked harder for her achievements than any child here. The photographer quietly packed up his equipment. Several family members couldn't meet my eyes. As the owner of this resort, I continued, I have certain standards for guests. We pride ourselves on inclusivity and family values. We've partnered with several disability advocacy organizations to ensure our property is welcoming to all children and families. Marcus pulled something up on his tablet. In fact, Mrs. Matthews has personally funded our accessibility program, adaptive water sports equipment, sensory-friendly quiet rooms, and trained staff for guests with various needs. She's donated over $200,000 to make sure every child can enjoy our resort. My mother-in-law's champagne glass slipped from her hand, shattering on the pavilion's wooden floor. Your complimentary upgrade ends today, I said. You'll be moved back to your original rooms. Additionally, I've reviewed your social media posts. The photos you've taken here will need to come down. Our resort policy explicitly prohibits guests from using our property to promote discriminatory views. You can't be serious, Jennifer whispered. I'm extremely serious. You have 2 choices. You can issue a public apology on the same platforms where you posted about perfect kids and exclusion. Acknowledge what you did, apologize to Emma specifically, and commit to better behavior. Or you can check out immediately and be permanently banned from all properties in our investment group. That's blackmail, my brother-in-law shouted. No, I said quietly. That's consequences. You wanted an environment for people who shine? My daughter shines brighter than you'll ever know. You wanted to celebrate quality? Quality is measured in character, not the absence of challenges. Emma tugged my hand. Mama, can we see the fish now? Her words were clear and confident. She'd been practicing that sentence all morning. The family stared at her, really looked at her perhaps for the first time. Yes, sweetheart. We can see the fish. I turned back to my family. You have until tomorrow morning to decide. Marcus will be in touch with the details. We walked away from the pavilion, Emma chattering about the tropical fish in the resort's aquarium. Behind us, I heard frantic whispered arguments. Someone crying, Jennifer's voice rising in panic. My phone started buzzing before we reached the main building. Text after text, calls I didn't answer. By the time we were watching clownfish dart through coral, Jennifer had posted a lengthy apology on Instagram. My mother-in-law had called 4 times. Amanda sent a message begging me to reconsider, claiming they'd made a mistake in judgment. I took Emma to the children's pool where she splashed and played with other kids, her laughter ringing across the water. A little boy asked about her award certificate and she proudly told him about her speech therapy, stumbling only slightly on the bigger words. That evening, Marcus sent me a message. All posts removed. Public apologies issued. They're asking if they can stay and make amends. I watched Emma build a sandcastle on the beach, her concentration absolute, her determination fierce. This child who'd been deemed not good enough for a family vacation. This warrior who fought every day to be heard. Tell them they can stay, I replied. But they're paying full price for the original rooms. No upgrades, no special treatment. And if I see one more post, photo, or comment that excludes or demeans any child, they're banned for life. Understood. I added one more thing. Also, Emma and I will be joining the family dinner tomorrow night. They wanted a celebration of exceptional children. Time they learned what exceptional really means. Emma ran to me, covered in sand, holding a perfect spiral shell. Look what I found, Mama. Isn't it beautiful? The most beautiful thing I've ever seen, I said, and I wasn't talking about the shell. My phone buzzed with another message from Jennifer. We're so sorry. Please let us make this right. We want Emma to know we love her. I looked at my daughter, who had never once asked why she wasn't invited on the family trip. who had simply been excited about her award. She deserved better than relatives who only valued her when forced to see her worth. But she also deserved the chance to be included, to experience what should have been hers from the beginning. Tomorrow night, I texted back. Bring your children. It's time they met their cousin properly. Emma found another shell, then another, lining them up in careful patterns. Her focus, her creativity, her pure joy in simple discoveries. These were gifts the family had been too blind to see. They'd wanted perfect. They'd gotten real. And if they were lucky, they'd learn the difference before it was too late. The sunset painted the ocean gold and pink. Emma held my hand, her small fingers sticky with salt water and ice cream. Somewhere in the resort, my family was probably panicking, scrambling, realizing the cost of their cruelty. But here on this beach with my exceptional daughter, I felt nothing but peace. Tomorrow we'd face them together. Tonight we'd count shells, watch stars, and celebrate everything that truly mattered. Because excellence isn't about being perfect. It's about being brave enough to keep trying, kind enough to include everyone, and strong enough to stand up when others tear you down. My daughter had taught me that. And now it was time her family learned the same lesson.